Hello and welcome. I am Mal. I am here with my good buddy IDED. IDED, how are you doing?
I'm good, buddy. And how are you, sir? How are you?
I'm great. I'm really excited. We're here. We're playing Master of Orion Conquest of the Stars co-op. So we're jumping into multiplayer for the first time. Now, before we get started, I want everybody to understand that this is still very much in development. So we're not even sure how stable multiplayer is. So we might run into a few glitches and what have you. For point of reference, we are recording this at the very beginning of March of 2016. And this is just been released into early access via Steam. For those of you not familiar with the Master of Orion series, this is a age-old sort of, you know, highly regarded 4X game. So for those of you not familiar with it, it is a 4X turn-based strategy game. And IDED, that's not usually normally your thing, but you jumped into this, you had day one, you got to the coverage of this faster than I did on the single player side.
Well, you know, I suppose on my side, it was the voice acting.
Oh,
it was
okay.
just that, you know, that big name cast, really. And like the person you're selected as at the moment is the voice of Q from Star Trek Next Generation, who's an epic voice actor. So I don't know, I really got into it for that. And of course, because you bigging it up, Mal, as you do, you make these games sound so tempting that I could not resist. So I had to buy the goddamn game. Damn you, Mal!
So you've been playing it. You've been playing it for not quite a week yet, and you're new to the experience. I've been playing. You know, I'm going to date myself a little bit, but you know, I've been playing Master of Orion II off and on for the better part of 2 decades, and this game is very much built off of the gameplay experience of Master of Orion II. For those of you that are familiar with the series and kind of want to know what it feels like Master of Orion II, which is great. But you're fresh to it. You got fresh eyes. So before we jump into what we're going to pick for races and our enemies and all that, what's been your experience as somebody that's come with fresh eyes, a new experience into this essentially beta version of the new version of Master of Orion?
Well, it's a very good question, to be honest, because I've only played very few turn-based games in the past, so it was definitely a very unusual experience, I suppose is the best way to put it from my perspective, because the graphics of the game are really good looking, as we all know. Everyone who's watched any sort of content of this before will know the graphics are actually really nice. It's a very polished game. There is a huge amount of depth to the tech and other things like that, which was very daunting when I first started out. And there's a lot of mechanics that I suppose, because I'm not much of a turn-based player, because I've played stuff like the old Fallout Tactics and those sort of games before, but there's a lot of like sort of very different ways of doing things in this, really expecting or prepared for when it came to sort of the turn systems and stuff like that. Like the fact that they will automatically move at the end of the turn based on the orders they were given previously. They won't just move at the start of the turn, so I suppose you can change where they're going if you wanted to interrupt their movement and stuff like that. It's things like that I wasn't used to, because most of the games I've played would be on that turn you have to manually move these people. If you don't move them, they stay where they are. That's that.
So what I'm hearing what I'm hearing you say is that your experience is really more with tactical turn-based games and not something that has a large strategic layer. That this isn't quite a grand strategy, which is a different genre, but it's close because of the level of complexity.
Yeah, that's basically it, you know, because I suppose I've flitted between, as you say, like sort of tactical turn-based and RTS. I was a big RTS player, and I suppose there's factors from both of those sort of genres in here which made it reasonably easy to pick up, but there's still complexities behind it that it's still a little bit of a mystery to me. But then again, I suppose that's kind of why I wanted us to do this multiplayer as well, because it gives me that chance to pick your brains.
Well,
sure,
a little
bit more about the depth of the game.
And while I can't claim to be an expert yet on this new version of Master of Orion, it is very much, like I mentioned earlier, based on Master of Orion II, so it kind of feels sort of at home for me. So we're gonna go ahead and
the lore as well.
Oh yeah, I do know the lore,
the background, so you can give the more flavor to the content than I can.
I can try. So in this series, this will be kind of an ongoing dialogue like this, and let's go ahead. We're gonna get started. We're gonna go ahead and pick our races and set this up, and we're gonna jump in, and hopefully it's gonna work for us. So now we had talked before about us sort of linking up. We're gonna play this cooperatively, like in the most biggest, greatest sense of it, in that we're not gonna go to war with each other. We're gonna try to find each other quickly and establish an alliance and trade agreements and all that good stuff, and then basically smash all of the alien faces, right? That's kind of the overall goal.
Yeah, that's the plan. As long as Mao doesn't betray me.
I'm not gonna do that. I won't do that. I won't do that. So if we're going to do that, then I would say, since we're not gonna turtle and we're gonna be aggressive and we're gonna have each other to help each other out, and quite frankly, the AI is not that difficult right now because it's stuck on average, so we can't even play against a harder difficulty opponent.
I did notice the AI seems to be a little bit mentally challenged, I suppose would be the nice way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just tough enough so that it's not a complete wash, but I think we ought to make it interesting. And the way we could do that, my suggestion is we pick some really aggressive races, and so that means really choosing either the Alkari, the Bulrathi, or the Sakura of the available races, and we just kind of go crazy on expansion and get into really early conflict, which in Master of Orion is always risky. Matter of fact, generally you're going to lose if you do that, and we could lose this by doing it, but I think it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a good strategy at the end of the day. It's going to be fun at the end of the day, because I haven't played it that much. I've only got sort of, I'm only like sort of about 3/4 of the way through my first game, so this is going to be a very unique experience, because I've been very, as you say, turtling the whole way through so far, so it'll be interesting.
I'm playing the Sakura in a single player game, so I don't want to play them. So for me, it's between the Bulrathi and the Alkari. Now, what race are you interested in? I would say that the Sakura are really strong, man. The lizard dudes are pretty awesome.
Well, if we've both, because I've played Cylons in my single player, which I didn't realize is like the primary choice of every single player out there, apparently.
Yeah, well,
let's go for something unique and new. So let's both go for something a little bit unusual, I suppose. So which one are you preferring, the Alkari or the Bulrathi? Or
you know what? I'll play the Alkari. I'll play the Alkari.
All right then. Or then I'll go for the big dumb Bulrathi then, and we'll make it a proper new flavor for both of us.
Okay, that works. The reason the Cylons are so popular is because that 50% bonus per person on research. I mean, that's just ridiculously good. Okay, so let's see.
I've abused the hell out of that. I tell you that for nothing.
AI, it only let me put 2 AI opponents out there. Really? Maybe if I go with medium galaxy size. There we go.
Yeah, okay. So the larger the area, the more opponents we can have, I suppose.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so human, the Martian, the Cylon, the Sakura.
Yeah, that seems like a good mix-up, doesn't it?
Well, I think that's all that's available. Yeah, that's
so we're pretty much going for a full run here of every race versus every race. So it's a royal rumble of sorts, so to speak.
So now we have a choice between the galaxy type, and there is a difference even this early in the game, in the game's development, excuse me. There is a difference. So we can do circle or spiral. Circle would allow us to get to each other sooner, which means we can make agreements. It also means we could potentially get to enemy opponents more quickly, which can be a little dangerous. But if we pick spiral, they introduced a new element on that particular map where you're going to run into warp conduits that are essentially locked. And
I see.
You have to get a tech.
Spiral's the default nature of the galaxy, isn't it? You don't generally find anything other than sort of spiral galaxies out there. But then circle does seem like the most sensible plan, because then we're all rotating around, aren't we? The main central point.
Yeah, and I don't think spiral's a good idea for us because again, those
it's going to lock us out.
Yeah, I mean that tech insulator tech is like halfway down the tech tree. So it would take probably somewhere between 120 and 150 turns to get to the tech to unlock it so that we could even get to each other.
Yeah, so let's go for circle.
Okay, so we'll go for circle, and we'll go. I think medium is probably good for size.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so
high risks, high rewards, Mal. That's what it's all about.
All right, so we'll do maximum AI opponents of 4, and Galaxy Age. The impact here is basically the types of planets. If we go with a young Galaxy Age, we're going to have more organic worlds, higher food worlds, but not very much mineral development. And then just the opposite, if we go with old, we're going to have like a lot of volcanic and desert planets and gas planets. So they'll be more mineral rich, but then finding worlds that are good for colonizing in terms of growth will be really poor.
Really hard. Okay.
Yeah. So I think probably maybe just stick with average.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, because what's the plan with the strategy then, man? What are we going to go for here? Are we going to look to outpace them population-wise and then attack, or are we going to look to outpace them sort of industrially?
I think the first step is we've got to try to find each other, and hopefully we're relatively close, right? So we can make those agreements, because those are super important. And then from a strategic standpoint, I think if we can find some chokehold systems, even if they have crappy worlds in them, we should forward colonize, even if that means skipping over really good planets that we'd like to have early on.
Okay.
We should forward colonize, build military outposts there, and then build up little fleets and sort of lock that down. And then what we can do is, before we start attacking them, we can then backfill those systems that we've secured with colony ships. And we can start taking planets, but essentially behind a shield wall that we've built.
That sounds like a plan and a half. No, so, I'm good with that. So we're going for average, basically, the age of our galaxy. And we're going to look for basically any warp point that's a singular warp point connection to our galaxy, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good.
So random events, yes. Pirates, I don't really care if we put them in or not. They're just kind of a nuisance.
Yeah, I do agree. I've had that with my my single player. I've had a lot of sort of like, pirate worlds and stuff, and it's just a nuisance, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think...
And we've got enough problems as it is.
I think take it out. I don't want to deal with that right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
It'll let me. I can't tell. I think that's out, yeah. Monsters is fine. They're only around worlds that typically are like better worlds, and I think there should be a cost of entry there. So I'm okay with monsters. I'll take it out if you want.
That works for me.
All right, allow racial traits. Now, balanced starting conditions, because we could end up with really, really awesome systems if I turn this off, or really bad ones. This one forces everybody to have basically the same start.
I think that seems fair. I think we'll go for balance. That way everyone's got the same opportunity.
Okay. And then we'll just leave the victory types, excellence, diplomatic, and then obviously domination, which is what we're going to go for anyway, where we just destroy everybody's face.
Yep, no, that sounds awesome.
All right, let's try this then.
There we go. Try it now, because I've just clicked ready. Maybe I had to click ready first. That could be me being an idiot. My apologies. I didn't realize that I was my readiness was required.
Now it's starting. What do you know?
Sorry.
Okay,
so one more player. What it actually meant is not everyone is ready. So there you go. There's a pitfall, people.
Okay, so this is
a bug.
This is what we're gonna do, folks. When you see this video, it's gonna look cool because we're gonna come straight into the game. But we're gonna have made a cut in the video because somebody forgot to hit the ready up button, so we spent a minute just looking at menus for no reason.
Well, there we go. That's what I do best.
Okay, where are you at in the? I'm zooming out. Where are you at in the galactic circle?
All right, bear with me 1 second. I am at Ursa, so let's have a look. I am in relation to the central point.
Yep.
I am off to the east side.
Okay.
If it's got set as the same rotation of the map, I assume that is unrotatable, so we can't change the perspective. No, we can't. Yeah, so I am definitely off to the east, literally right next to the central point on the east.
Can you? How close are you to that wormhole that's over there?
It looks like it may be 1 or maybe 2 planetary connections away from me.
Okay, guess what?
What?
You see the wormhole on the other side that it's connected to? I'm one system away from that wormhole, which means we can get to each other right away.
Nice.
That's pretty badass. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is go to Empire Management, and I'm going to change my credit per population down to 1, so that I have maximum morale.
Of course, sensible.
And then let's see. I've got 1 scout. I'm sending to the. Can I get to the wormhole? Why can't I get to the wormhole? There's no direct connection. Dang it. Okay. Well, that's okay.
You've got to discover it, haven't you? So.
No, the problem is that. Looks like I've got some fairly limited options on where I can go. Yeah, I have one warp. I have 1 warp connection.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. I've got 3 in my current location. So.
Yeah, so it's gonna take me a couple turns to get out of here.
That's no worries. Okay then, so research-wise, what would you usually go for first? What is your main research choice?
That's a good question. Let's see here.
Welcome, Your Highness.
I'm always wondering with this, because in my single player, I've generally kind of picked things that I thought were good options, rather than having a real in-depth knowledge of mechanics, you see. So I'm always picking it at random.
Well, okay, first off, why don't you go to your main homeworld and let's talk about some stats there first. So just click on your main Ursa.
Yep.
Okay, so what's your current population? 8 of 11?
My current population is, yes, most certainly 8 of 11.
Okay, and then under food, what's your next population coming at?
It says next population is 9.
Okay, so right now, research, if you can see here, this is one of the things in terms of, this is fundamentally different than Master of Orion II, is that you see the two guys, you probably have two guys defaulted on research right now? Okay.
Yes.
Grab one of those guys and put them in food, and then grab the other guy and put them in production. And here's the reason I'm saying that. If you're talking about early game, and you're talking about getting the most out of the population that you have, look at what it's worth. For me, that fourth spot on food is worth 3, and for production, it's worth 2, versus research is 1 for 1. So research is really not that great early on, right? Because you really want to be able to, you want to grow as fast as you can. So I've got a colony ship ready in 9 turns, and that's all I'm going to worry about in terms of production right now. I've got nothing else to be concerned about. And then for research...
Welcome, Your Highness. What wisdom do you seek?
Let's see. In terms of research... it's a toss-up for me between hydroponic farm...
Yeah, because that's the ones I usually go for, is the biology research, just to try and get the food up.
Let's see. Actually, government support facility gives plus 15% morale, so as you do additional colonies, that's pretty important building, and it gives research lab. So I'm actually going to grab that first.
Okay.
And I start with physics tech already completed. I don't remember what you started with. But
Your Highness.
You got something right off the bat.
Okay. All right then. So from the Bulrathi perspective, though, because obviously mine is going to be, because obviously they're very much population focused. For me, it's very quick to produce like colony ships and stuff like that, because obviously my production is very high based on the nature of the species being quite hardy and strong. So I've got, it looks like it obviously starts off with space travel. Being pre-unlocked.
We're keeping busy, you see.
And then I have physics pre-unlocked as well, obviously.
Yeah.
So those are the 2 I've got. So I've got then obviously the opportunity to advance into advanced magnetism and electronics. But obviously, if you're suggesting the government might be good, I'm not sure, because I'm thinking biology might be good for me, because obviously the population bonuses for this race are generally quite good, aren't they? Because they obviously produce a lot more people a lot quicker. The
thing about getting research lab early is that you can put it up on every planet. So even if you, for instance, let's say we find another planet in the next couple of turns that's pretty good.
I see your point.
You can potentially buy a research planet there, and then that's an extra 2 research that's just rolling all the time.
Yeah, okay, I get you. Yeah, no, all right then. I'm going to go with your suggestion, being the more knowledgeable.
The other way, fast growing is just as valid, though. I mean, really, either one's fine. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference. All right, I'm hitting next turn.
Okay, same.
May I interrupt?
Turn processed. I've got my first colony ship already.
Yeah. Everybody starts with 1 insta build.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're gonna change that. I'm curious.
Tempted then. So do I produce? What's the?
What I'm going to produce, because I have it available, and I believe you do too, is I'm going to go ahead and produce automated factory, which gives plus 2 production.
Obviously, the production, which means it speeds up the builds from this point forwards. Which is
it's the
nature of it, isn't it?
It's a 5-turn investment that pays for itself over the long term by far.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that one.
Okay, I'm going next turn.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna move my ship towards where I'm hoping the connection to that warp point is.
Yeah, I'm headed to the only warp connection I have, and I'm hoping there I find something.
Okay. Waiting for players.
Oh, there we go. Now I've got multiple connections. I can even head directly towards you, which I think I'll send... That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send 1 scout directly towards you. And then...
Okay, so where are you roughly located then, in relation to the main star?
From the Galaxy Central... Yeah. If you went... Well, actually, the easiest is that you see where the wormhole is, right?
Which one? The one I'm assuming up in the top east segment, yeah?
No, the one in the southwest section.
All right, okay, yeah.
Okay, so from that one, I am basically south and just slightly to the east.
Okay, I see. All right, okay, so you're not actually that far away from me then.
I'm not that far away, it's just I don't have a direct connection to this wormhole, so I'm
going to... potentially 1, 2... So you're 4 connections away from me at this
I'm
point,
hoping, because one just opened up that looks like it leads towards you, so I'm hoping there's a blue star system.
Yeah, I can see that one, yeah, definitely.
Okay, there's a blue star system, and
there's one just above it.
Yeah, and there's one just above it. I am
see, that's what I was
one,
thinking.
two. That second blue-white system, that is 3 systems away, and it looks like I might be able to get to it. Which system are you in?
I'm in Ursa, so I'm literally just, well, from you, basically. I am just literally northeast from you. Quite literally. You're in that little yellow star in the bottom. I am literally, if you go up to the blue star, which is kind of northeast away from you, then up to the red star, which is getting closest to the sort of galaxy center, then across one in the east direction around the center, and then I am the next blue star up into the east of that. So I'm literally.
Oh, I see where you're at.
It appears to be for me only 4 connections away from you.
All right, well, let's hopefully. I'm hitting next turn. Hopefully, we can get to each other. Then it would be huge if we could. If we could get to each other that soon, we're gonna have a good chance of smashing much alien face. Okay. There.
All right, so this one near me does not, unfortunately, connect.
That's what I was afraid of.
Point.
I think what I'm going to have to do is actually go through all of these systems and get over to that wormhole and then jump over to you. Go on to the next turn.
Yep, okay, and I will do the same.
Okay.
Fleet needs orders, so let's go back the other way and let's try and see if we can connect to Mal via that direction.
I lucked out and found a medium-sized arid planet that's abundant with artifacts on it, so I get bonus to research. That's nice.
Ah, well,
okay.
try for some.
Colonizing that one.
Seems like a plan.
Okay, 2 turns and our automated factories should be done.
Mine's already done now.
Is that a...
That's pretty cool. So now I need to choose my next production. Now I know that generally this one, from my single player, the populating lots of worlds in a very short period of time. So I don't know if I should produce another colony chip or maybe another... Well, all right, let's get another scout first.
I wouldn't bother with another scout. Do you have that many connections to explore?
From my main planet, I have 3 connections.
It might be worth it. I'm gonna go for another colony ship right away. And this is part of.
Because I can always use that to explore as long as I don't encounter any enemies.
This is also part of being really aggressive in the beginning of the game. Is saying, okay, screw it, and actually doing something like what you just said. Like, I'm gonna explore with a colony ship, which is pretty risky because there's things that can obviously eat your face off, but it is the fastest way to go forward.
Yeah, this is it. So this is it. So this is where my learning curve is, you see. So I'm trying to take what I've learned so far from playing single player, but then also obviously attributing the respect that is deserved by your knowledge of the game and the fact that you do have a much heftier understanding of how the game works. So I'm trying to pick up as much as I can from this to try and get as advanced as possible at playing the game.
Yes,
so I would like to get good at this game, to be honest. It seems like one of those ones that could be quite fun to play and play again, so to speak, especially in multiplayer.
Yeah, tons of replay value. I just found a system that obviously has a really good planet in it, guarded by a space eel, like right near where I've started off.
Enjoy that, buddy. Enjoy that.
Oh man, you actually have to have a pretty beefy fleet to take on something like this. Like this one space eel's got 461 military power, versus my frigate that's got 131. So you would need like at least a fleet of 4 or 5 ships right at the beginning. Yeah.
Well, so you wanted that though. You wanted there to be a price for entry, my friend.
That's true. This is true. All right, I'm going next turn.
Yep. I'm already on the wait for that one. So let's get moving then. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move down. I reckon I'm going to split my scouts because obviously you've got 2 scouts to start off with, haven't you?
Yeah.
Your base fleet. So I'm going to split those.
The Academy has worked tirelessly on this.
Okay, so I finished the initial research, and I'm now gonna grab. Okay, at some point we're gonna have to pick up Xeno relations before we meet up, or
yes, of course,
or after, but we'll have to get that tech so that we can make agreements.
Of course. The only problem with my research, because obviously big and dumb Bulrathi, my research is the slowest thing. It's literally the slowest thing. It's going to take me 12 turns just to get that first research done.
That's why research labs is important for you too, though.
Yeah,
because then it
definitely.
helps kind of balance that out a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I haven't tried to do, actually, even in single player, is tech trade. Because in theory, we should be able to tech trade with each other. So that'll be our biggest advantage.
That would be massive.
Yeah.
It's going to be an advantage and a half.
Be like, okay, why don't you focus on biology and I'll take care of electronics and we'll just trade everything.
Yes, definitely. That is a sexy plan there, Mal. I really like that one.
All right, I'm going to pick up this, let's see.
Marvelous.
I'm going to pick up engineering.
Okay.
Give access to early destroyers in case we get into something here. What's
nice,
this?
It's good for bombardment, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah. Oh, I just found a large tundra abundant. Hey, that's pretty sexy. So the question is, do I grab the medium arid with artifacts? Yeah, that's what I grab. I don't even know why I'm second guessing myself. I was like, no. Yeah, it's gonna take me 3 turns to get to this red star that's just southeast of the galactic core. So I'm getting closer to you, in theory.
Okay.
Look, Skylord! Look!
Gosh, is there any way to turn off the, like,
Ooh,
tutorial?
I found an anomaly.
Oh, did you? That's nice.
Yeah, just near the next system as I'm going down, so that could be interesting. I'm actually going to split my frigate out of this fleet as well.
Oh, I just discovered Orion. Which, if you
Alright, so
haven't gotten to that
okay.
in your single-player game, Orion is, you know, like, it'll be the best world that you find, generally speaking, and then...
Yeah, I've discovered the area with it in. Unfortunately, in my single player, the Alkari are right next to it.
Oh, okay.
So, not good.
In Master of Orion II, if you were able to secure Orion, then you would get, like, a special ship, and you would get all kinds of special tech, you know, from the precursor race, right? That's no longer around.
That's pretty cool. Okay, well, I'm going next turn. There's not much going on my turns, unfortunately, because I've not got much to run with, so to speak. Alright, so let's explore.
Okay, I'm colonizing my first planet.
Leaps and bounds ahead of me, buddy. Leaps and bounds.
I love the cutscenes for the colonization there. It's so cool. Feels very, very galactic epic vibe.
Ah, see, this is the thing. On mine, I've turned the sound off because I didn't want to get any situations with copy. But then obviously I noticed there's no real like sort of sound effect for it. It's just literally, it's obviously just music, isn't it?
It's
They're
just
using
music.
it as.
I've had my game sound on for all of it. There hasn't been any issues.
Yeah. I always get worried because I've had so many times where I've had copy strikes from like random companies because of the fact that they're obviously the artist behind it's not happy to have people use their stuff.
I typically just challenge those if it happens. It's like, you know. Let's see. I think this music though, I think the majority of it was produced in house. Let's see. Cuz it's very like it's very reminiscent of music from previous
from the prior games.
Yeah,
I see.
Just done like with modern, you know, recording.
Oh, well, maybe I should turn my music on then. It would be nice to have it because I assume it adds a much deeper layer to the game. So I'm actually going to do that now. Whilst we're in here, why not?
Let's see.
Put the music up a bit.
So on my second world, I'm going to hold on. Let me look at my what's the morale here? 80%? Okay. No one's on strike, so I guess I'll say screw giving them happiness, right? I'm gonna forgo the government support facility, and the first thing I'm gonna do is build an automated factory. Now, a lot of times, what I like to do is what I like to call a shake and bake colony, where I go in and immediately start it, and then with money, with credits, I will instantly build an automated factory to kind of get it going.
Okay.
I don't have enough money to do that now, but the cost, I don't know if you've noticed this, the cost will decrease on a production as it sort of gets completed by the planet. So somewhere around 5 turns from now, I'll probably be able to buy this, and then that'll help speed this new world up.
Oh, that's pretty clever. See something else I didn't know. Okay.
Oh, this is good news. I can still keep moving towards you.
Nice.
You're not gonna believe this. What is this thing? The guard? Oh, that's I was gonna say the Guardian. Holy crap! Oh, I forgot about this. Okay, so
I found it.
Oh, hey!
Of the Bulrathi.
Mao says the
If
sky
you wish
lord
to
of the
keep your
Alkari
fleet
greets you,
between
wanderer.
help on your- you give my kindred a wide.
I do wish to coexist with you.
oh, that's cool. All right, so we met each other. Nice. What's
How
up,
goes it,
buddy?
buddy?
What's up? All right, so now we will have to get Xenotech as soon as we can. Okay, so that's
You too.
awesome. That's awesome. We've met no
cool.
one
And
else.
The warp point between that is actually a lot longer than I expected. So it's actually only 3 away from your main world.
Yeah, it's a long trip without improved engines. But what I was saying
Yeah.
before we met up is that I guess I just didn't think about it in my single player game. But remember how I told you that little space eel that's guarding that kind of nice planet has like 460-ish military power?
Yeah.
You want to know how much the Guardian that's circling Orion has?
Go on then.
57,400.
Holy hell.
Let's team up. We could get them with our scouts.
Yeah, definitely. All on that.
Oh man.
We're going for suicide missions now, are we? I see.
Oh my goodness. That would not. Yeah, that would be bad for our health.
All
right, well, I
should
think-
advance the next turn.
I think this first episode is probably long enough at this point because we also, because we did that intro and everything explaining what we were doing. So,
Yes, of course, of course.
just to wrap this up, how do you feel about, I mean, this is the first time we've done multiplayer. What are your thoughts?
Oh, myself? I don't know. So far, I'm really enjoying it. But then again, Mal, I think, tribute to yourself, sir. I've always enjoyed every game we've played together because I think it's about the people you play with more than the game you're playing, so to speak. And obviously, being a quality geezer, as you are, I think you make most games fun, to be honest. And it's a good because
I appreciate that.
I
I
enjoy
appreciate
the
that.
learning experience as well. So for me, this is actually it's a really nice experience as a whole because I'm learning more about the game. I'm enjoying the game anyway because obviously it's a new title, so it's still got that new game feel, that new game smell. And in addition to that, now learning more about the lore behind it and obviously like different ways to progress, like the best tactics to use. It's a very sort of well-rounded experience for me, so I'm really enjoying it. But obviously, how about yourself? How are you feeling about this multiplayer segment so far?
First off, I'll echo, obviously we don't record as many things as we do together if I didn't think that, it was fun to do it with. So that's cool. And then, of course, I'm a huge fan of Master of Orion, and I have played all the games extensively. I can't say that because Master of Orion 3, I just, like most fans of the genre, just tried to pretend that didn't happen. But yeah, this feels very much like Master of Orion II, which is great. Now, I was a little concerned about the multiplayer. You never know in strategic games how they're going to sync. But I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. I mean, this is an early access game. It's far from being done. And at least so far in this our first go at it, the multiplayer seems pretty stable.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, maybe I should do a sync video for this then, and put both videos on the one page like I did for some of our ARC stuff, and see, that way we could get a good feel for exactly how synchronized the turns are and stuff like that. Because I imagine it just waits till all of the players click ready and then just does it all at once. I'm assuming that's how it works.
I'm assuming so, but I mean, if you think about games like that have been out for a long time, like Civilization 5 as an example, the multiplayer code for that is still something that community, complains about, quite frankly, in terms of like things getting disconnected in the middle of a multiplayer game, and then the saves don't work and whatnot. So, and that's rough. That's rough, right? I am, I guess, cautiously optimistic that this game has, relatively good optimized, netcode.
Yeah, no, it does seem to run really smoothly. I haven't noticed any issues so far.
No, me neither. So that's a good sign. All right, folks, well, we're going to wrap this one up. We hope that you come back and join us for another episode. Myself and IDED, at this point anyway, unless we run into some kind of problem, are planning to do this sort of co-op, learn the game series on an ongoing basis. It will be featured on both channels, so make sure that you look for that. Thank you so much for watching us. If you did enjoy the video, consider hitting that thumbs up. And for myself and IDED, we will see you later.
See you soon.